It's Madden NFL 24. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts under the lights on Thursday night.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin joined here in Indianapolis by Charles Davis. Well, CD, these Colts, they seem to be onto something a few years back. They had the NFL's leading rusher in Jonathan Taylor, but last year, a big fall, down to 4-12-1.
And they want to get back to what they had a few seasons ago, as you alluded to. Can they get Jonathan Taylor going again on the ground, get their offensive line going? And their defense certainly has to play a whole lot better than it did in 2022.
Meanwhile, for the Browns, they come off a 7-10 season a year ago. Not great, but not a total loss either. Now, you think there are building blocks in place?
They're there. Look at what they did last year. Their pass defense was number 5 in the league. Their rushing attack, 6th best in the league. They have players. They have a system. They just need to put it all together.
Now, the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the 3-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his second season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
Just 6 games played for Watson in his debut season with the Browns, which really limited how much he could step into the franchise quarterback role for the team. But he gets a full slate to do so this season. Remember, his last year in Houston, over 4,800 yards. They expect excellence from him.
Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
To throw on second is Watson. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run with Ford. And there to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Off of play action, it's Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Justin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Colts offense set to go to work, and they're led by a guy who's bounced around a bit the last few years, hoping to find a home with Indianapolis, Gardner Minshew.
Even though the Colts weren't quarterback to start the NFL draft, they wanted a veteran under center this season. They tapped Minshew as that guy. The mustache and the mullet are in the Circle City, and he is their starter.
Minshew and the Colts going to come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They run with the All-Pro from a couple of years ago, Jonathan Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Able to push his way through. And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
That's the end of the
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Watson, option left. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. But he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Watson's throw complete there to Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Watson now going to run the option right. How did he stay on his feet? And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Draw play to Ford. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, they turn to Ford. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerome Ford, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw it, Minshew. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's a gain of 7.
Minshew sets to throw.
At the 32-yard line.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do. And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
54 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Cook hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on it's the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. Final adjustments taking place in both teams' locker rooms. We're closing in on the second half, and to bring it your way, let's go back up to Indianapolis and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Minshew. That's complete to Pierce. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. Now Minshew. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, that's the kind of play that was lacking all the way through the first half. Maybe this can give them a little bit of a spark because they're not out of this game by any stretch.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw here. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Broken tackle. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. A 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get
the ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. Is they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A big play that time for Cleveland. 46 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. This is Ford. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
11 yards for number 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, Minshew looking to throw. He'll find him. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They will start this drive with Ford. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Second down and 6 now. On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On 1st down, Ford. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, it's Ford. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
1st down, Cleveland.
Certainly not the highest of scoring games, Charles. Their offense did some okay things. Not a lot of points on the board, but enough for the win with how their defense was playing in this one.
Yeah, they certainly brought their A game, didn't they? They weren't fooled by anything that was presented to them from start to finish. That defense, they might as well have told their offense, guys, just kick a field goal. We've got it today.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.